Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. If you're a developer or a QA tester in the XOOPS ecosystem, you already know that building killer features is really only half the battle, right? The other half? Testing them. And honestly, manually configuring your module environments for those tests can be, well, incredibly tedious. We've literally all been there, staring blankly at a messy admin panel, trying to remember exactly what to click just to get a clean baseline. Well, today, we're diving into some absolute game-changing open-source automation tools that are going to wipe out those manual bottlenecks and completely upgrade your XOOPS developer workflow.
Here's a quick look at our roadmap for today. We'll start with the module management problem. Meet ModuleInstaller 1.6.0. Explore focus testing with sets, look at modernizing with Rector, and finally cover headless CI and testing. Let's jump right in.
I forget which modules I had active yesterday. Man, that is a sentiment straight from the latest XOOPS community news, and it hits incredibly close to home, doesn't it? Modern XOOPS projects almost never rely on just a handful of modules. A real-world test site might have dozens or even hundreds of packages just sitting on the disk. Trying to remember the exact combination you need for a specific feature test, it's a massive headache.
Section 1. The module management problem. The manual bottleneck.
So we are dealing with some serious friction here. In the old manual workflow, turning on the right combination of modules or just updating what changed overnight means grinding through the system module screen one painstaking click at a time. It's slow and it's highly error-prone. But contrast that with the new ModuleInstaller workflow. This thing rockets us straight into highly efficient bulk operations. It actually treats complex testing environments as a first-class workflow, rather than just some frustrating afterthought.
Section 2. Meet ModuleInstaller 1.6.0. Fixing deployment bottlenecks. Now, before we get to the really fun features, let's talk technical requirements. To run this modern admin tool, you're going to need a minimum baseline of XOOPS 2.7.0, PHP 8.2, and MTools 1.2.0. Note that MTools must be installed, but it doesn't actually need to be active. This elevated baseline is absolutely crucial because it ensures the tool can fully leverage modern PHP features and the absolute latest XOOPS core architecture.
The sheer amount of time you're going to save with these bulk action capabilities is just wild. Inside your admin panel, you now get these dedicated tabs. You can bulk install unregistered modules that are just hanging out on your disk. You can update installed modules, and get this, it automatically pre-selects version mismatches for you. Huge time saver. You can also uninstall, activate, or deactivate multiple packages all at once using a super clear yes or no interface. But the real game changer here is the safe batch processing. Let's say you're running a massive batch job and one module throws an error, or maybe it's just missing from the disk. The installer doesn't freak out and abort the whole batch, no way. It safely skips the missing items, logs a notice for you, and just keeps right on going. Plus, the whole shebang is seamlessly integrated into the XOOPS module admin theme, so it feels completely native to your control panel. Say goodbye to those clunky, outdated wizard shells for sure.
Section 3. Focus testing with sets. Isolating environments. Okay, so what exactly are module sets? Basically, they're named lists of modules stored as highly secure YAML files right in your site's private data path. Instead of manually clicking modules on and off every time, you can now create, duplicate, and share these sets. So for example, you could load up a shipped sample set that contains the private messaging, user profile, and protector modules. Bam! You instantly hand your QA team a ready-to-load community baseline stack with literally zero manual configuration required. And this flows perfectly into the brilliantly designed focus workflow. Let's walk through how this magic happens. First, before doing anything, you snapshot your currently active modules. This creates a solid restore point for your site. Second, you apply your test set using the focus action. Now, what focus does is it activates only the members of your test set, and it safely deactivates everything else that isn't core protected. So now you've got this minimal, highly surgical sandbox environment. Step 3, you run your tests. And finally, when you're done, you just restore your initial snapshot. Your full site goes right back to exactly how it was. For regression runs and debugging, this is an absolute game changer.
Section 4. Modernizing with Rector. Automating refactoring.
We all know testing is way easier when your code is modern and up to date. But manually refactoring old CMS modules? Ugh, tedious doesn't even begin to cover it. That is exactly where the Rector XOOPS package comes to the rescue. It completely automates the safe, mechanical parts of modernizing legacy code, shipping with 22 custom rules right out of the box. It automatically handles DB API renames, so switching those old MySQL_ calls over to the modern $XOOPS DB, it updates legacy superglobals, cleans up messy reference assignments, hardens unserialized calls for better security, and it even tackles the PHP 8.5 string callable fixes.
Think about the alternative here. Manual code review means spending hours hunting down deprecated PHP syntax, risking human error, and inevitably missing weird edge cases. On the flip side, relying on Rector Exos automation uses mechanical abstract syntax tree or AST transformations. It actually parses the underlying structure of your code and upgrades it directly to PHP 8.2+ standards. It's not just faster, it is infinitely safer.
Section 5. Headless CI and Testing. Cloud Static Analysis.
In modern development, you obviously want your static analysis running automatically in the cloud. But here's the rub. Traditional CMS modules usually need a live web server and a MySQL database just to parse correctly. Well, the modern XOOPS DevOps standard solves this little paradox using two specific templates, PHP stand bootstrap.php and XOOPS.stub. These provide skeleton signatures for the XOOPS core classes. Basically, they trick your analysis tools into understanding the CMS architecture without actually needing a fully installed live site. And because of those stubs, you achieve true CI dependency isolation. By completely decoupling your modules from local web servers, you can execute full type safety and quality checks in a totally headless environment. We're talking directly inside environments like GitHub Actions every single time you push code. So I want to leave you with this final provocative question to chew on. How much time are you currently wasting on manual CMS testing and legacy code upgrades? Look, between ModuleInstaller 1.6.0 giving you bulk actions and isolated test sets, Rector completely automating your PHP upgrades, and stub templates unlocking headless CI, the open source tools to obliterate these bottlenecks are literally right in front of you. It is time to rethink your workflow. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.